Pass the bucket.
Hey everybody, Kenning here, and it's week 2 of the Paladin month. So, what do I have in store for you today? Well, it's the Shockadin again. Truth be told, I haven't really found another deck that I like that's really effective, and I'm really trying to make the Shockadin work. Unfortunately, it feels a little dirty, not gonna lie. I've won some games I shouldn't have. And so I have tweaked the deck this week. This is kind of what we do week 2. You know, we tweak the deck a little bit. Most notably, you'll see it over on the left, is the Blessing of Wisdom for Noble Sacrifice. I felt Noble Sacrifice wasn't doing all that great. And Blessing of Wisdom is there, a little strange, but it's helping a lot in card draw. I need to cycle through. You know what, while I'm talking, let me queue up a game here. I found that the Shockadin is inconsistent. Can you get to Legend with this deck? Yeah, I'm sure you can. But you have to play a lot of games, and it's very inconsistent. So I tried to bring down that inconsistency by adding a little more card draw, a little more cycling, such as Blessing of Wisdom. I've taken out Elven Archer and Direwolf Alpha, and I swapped them for 2 Holy Lights, actually. Now, that's because I'm running across a lot of mages, and I need the survivability to allow me to continue to cycle the deck. Alright, we got a warrior here, so... sometimes I do like to keep Blessing of Wisdom, not this time, however. Holy Light is definitely late game. I'm going to keep the 2 drop for now. Confirm that. So what else have I done? I'm only running 1 Equality. I felt 2 was too much. Only 1 Hammer of Wrath. And, alrighty, greetings, greetings. This is a perfect first start for us. Yeah. Other changes, other changes. Arcane Golem and Wolf Rider, they're out the window. It's a nice rush deck, but I need a little more survivability, need to slow it down, try to bring up that consistency. So I added a Loot Hoarder and Sword of Justice. Sword of Justice definitely slows the deck down, but I found that that extra buff really helps your minions because they're getting pinged way too early, and the mages on the deck on the ladder were just slaughtering me. So that's going to be a problem. We don't want to give them a lot of armor, and we're going to, unfortunately. Don't have a way... We don't need 2 Divine Favors. Oof. I don't want a minion on the board. 2. I guess we're just going to have to go all-out rush and play the Shockadin, play the Paladin, like it's meant to be played, straight to the face. Like I said, I've tried to slow it down and cycle more cards for consistency. A Control Warrior is going to be difficult. This is probably not the best matchup for us, because of things like that. And now he's gaining armor. We don't have a lot of big removal. There's our turn 4. I'm all but certain he's going to probably run the Armorsmith into my Argent Squire, which will bring that down to 2, so we can consecrate turn 4. Which means turn 3, I have too many Divine Favors. That's unfortunate. If I use one now, I draw 1 card. So we're just going to have to Leper Gnome to the face, and we're off to a very, very slow start. Well, fair enough. This is one of the reasons why Control War is very difficult. So many one-drop. You know, I took out the Wolf Rider for that reason, because it was just too many 1-health minions, and it would just get slaughtered. All right, so we're gonna have to consecrate. Well, yeah, he still only has 4 cards. So the benefit of going against a Control Warrior is generally you can get some good value out of Divine Favor. It's not happening this time. He's not drawing a lot of cards. So this may be more slanted on the aggro side. It's hard to say. I think it is best for us. We'll remove the armor as well, so we can't shield slam. Remove these 2. Oh, we're going to remove 2 of the 3. He's going to get 1 back. And we have no minions. Not good. Very, very slow. So this is the problem with Shockadin. If you don't have the perfect starting hand, a lot of times you'll fall way, way behind. Oh, this might work out well. So we're going to get some card draw from him. And 3 for 2 is pretty decent. And because we have 2 in our hands, it's just not... they're going to sit there. They're going to be dead cards if we don't use it now. So, and we get a 1-drop. Okay, that's cool. He's got no way of killing that Cochrane Elite, so if he attacks with it, we're gonna get 2 cards out of him, basically. At least 2 cards. Now, if we attack the Cochrane Elite, of course, we're not going to get any cards. The cool thing about the Blessing of Wisdom is it makes your opponent pause. Oh, he is going to run it in. No, or what am I talking about? Of course, he's dead. It makes your opponent pause and say, well, hold on. And sometimes you can stave off several points of damage because they just don't attack with that minion. They're like, whoa, 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 I'm not giving you cards. Which is, it's kind of a mistake. It's kind of not. It depends. All right, so we've got 1 card out of that. Do we want to go for another one? It's 4 damage is what we're taking. So I think we will. What we're going to do is it better to... Well, okay, so we're gonna go the survivability route. We're gonna take care of that. We're gonna heal ourselves back up because we're gonna take another 4 damage. And the Cochrane Elite's going next time. 2 cards off of that is fine. It's a 1 mana cost card, so. And probably gonna Avenging Wrath next turn. I guess it's not exactly a control warrior. Alright, so we've got 2 cards out of it. That's enough. Enough, sir. And it looks like we can probably get away with... If I use the Avenging Wrath straight up, there's a good chance the Cochrane will die, but not both that and the Drake. If I do the Drake, if I use my True Silver on the Drake, I take 2 damage and I'm down to 20, and then Avenging Wrath gives him 6 damage. It brings him down to 21 with a board clear, and then I can work an Infiltrator. I think that's probably a decent play. I don't have any other way of removing. And I don't think, yeah, we'll do that. I'll get rid of the high-cost minions, or the high-cost cards, and that way I can probably cycle both of these next turn, and use my Divine Favor. He's starting to stack up his enemy hand quite a bit. He's got, what, 7 now, so we can get some good value out of Divine Favor, and that's what kind of saves this deck. Card cycling in general, not necessarily just Divine Favor, but if you look at the original video from last week, Divine Favor was pretty much it as far as, other than a couple Hammer Wraths. Which does not help cycle your deck that much. Alright, we can another Worgen Infiltrator, and I might leave them there. That's interesting. Let's see, he's got 6. So I can get some good value out of this. I can save my Loot Hoarder, or save my Hammer Wrath. I'm going to save the Hammer of Wrath. Hero Power and Divine Favor. Now, I probably should have Divine Favored first just to see what I got. That's probably a misplay. But yeah. I'm not going to tackle the Worgen Infiltrator just yet. I'm curious. Now, if he's got a Whirlwind, that was a mistake. Minus 2 damage for me. But I'm expecting him to play some minions, and I want to use this more for removal. Plus, we've got all of our buff cards now. I got my True Silver Champion. I do have a more expensive removal. Argent Squire is not going to help us too much. It will with the Blessing of Mights behind the shield. Unfortunately, she needs to be out, and then we'll Blessing of Might the next turn, so it's 2 turns away for her to be very useful. Big Game Hunter, that's nice. And Shield Block, okay, good. Alright, and he gives us the card draw. Excellent. Ooh, we'll keep that for later. As a matter of fact, we'll have our Equality, Consecration. We'll keep that as a 6-mana board clear. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alright, so... let's see, the best way to do this is probably... I only have 1 minion I need to get out, and that's the Argent Squire. She's going to benefit greatly. So, with that being said, I'm going to save both Blessings of Might for that Argent Squire. The Equality is going to combo with the Consecrate, so that's way out. Let's put her out, because we know we're going to play that. The True Silver we're not going to do because we're going to trump over our Sword of Justice. That would be bad. So it's going to be a Hammer of Wrath for card draw. Again, draw cards before you play minions. Blessing of Might may actually work better with Leroy. And then we will actually... we got to take down some of the armor. That's getting crazy high. Alright, so the next turn we're probably going to Leroy, Blessing of Might, Consecrate. Especially since he's playing Ysera. Although, we don't have lethal, so we could Equality Consecrate. We might have to save the Equality Consecrate. Yeah, so Leroy's going to hit very hard. But unfortunately, he's going to be taken out. We need to do it now. We need to bring down all that armor. He's going to start laying in a bunch of legendaries now. So I'm going to save. I'm going to hold back on that Consecration Equality. And try to stun him, if you will. Alright, so then the Bluegill Warrior comes out. Fortunately, we're a couple mana short, so we'll put out a minion. We need to Blessing of Might her because Lyra's going to wind up dying. We'll remove this, remove that. Those are there to remove Leroy, and it's a little too late now, but I'm going to bring him down with that last Light's Justice charge. I don't really need it. I don't want it. I don't have any minions. And I'm planning on playing True Silver Champion the next turn anyway, so hopefully that was enough to shock him into submission and we get a win here. As you can see, this deck slowed down considerably from the original Shockadin deck from last week. We do slow down quite. We still have, you know, our finishers like Leroy, but things like the Light's Justice really slow things down, beef up our minions a little bit, give us a little more board presence. I feel a little more consistency. The Holy Light, of course, helped us this time. And alright, so it looks like we are at lethal. Yep. Yep, lethal it is. Okay. There's 2, and there is 4. Alright, so, week 2 of the Shockadin. Like I said, I've changed it a little bit. I've tried to make it a little more consistent. You're still going to lose a lot, bottom line. My ranking is, as you can see, I'm not really much higher than I was last week. Part of that's experimenting, trying to get the Shockadin better. And part of it is because I have a Paladin deck I'm working on that I will show you at the end of the month. And I've already started working on it because I feel that the aggro Paladin is okay, but there's room for control. And I'm trying to work on a control deck for you. So thanks for watching. I have a few extra bonus clips, videos coming out this week. Fun with Leroy and the Shockadin. Be sure to check that out. And I will see you next time.